welcome to another episode of A Drummer's Guide to. So today I want to talk about comparing yourself to others. Oh, I think this is the most unproductive thing, potentially, that anyone could ever do for themselves, for their own mental health, for their own progress as a musician, as a human. I think comparing yourself to others is just so detrimental, basically. That's what I'm going to talk about in a nutshell. So in fact, you can switch off. That's all I'm going to say. No, I'm joking. So I'm going to ramble on a bit, as I always do. So yes, comparison. It's a nightmare. And, so I've been in a weird situation in my life because I grew up with my best friend who was also a drummer, Charisse Osei, for anyone that knows. And we were constantly being compared. We didn't see it that way because obviously we were just best friends who were playing drums and we loved it. But it really was a point of contention with other people which is crazy because you would think, as an adult, you just go, well, that doesn't matter. But actually at the time, it made a difference to the point that, we were part of this sort of like group of girls or whatever. They managed to somehow turn us against each other to fight. That's how bad it was with how much they thought that we should be comparing each other. Who's the better drummer out of you two? Who's the better one? Who's the better one? And it was just ridiculous. By the way, we got over that fight. Obviously, we are closer than ever, but I think we were about 12 when that happened. I think it lasted for a day and a half. That was it. And yeah, it's just, as I say, it's an interesting thing because I've just grown up with that. Sort of not, you do inevitably compare yourself if you do have someone next to you and you're both trying to do the same thing. But what I realised was actually it's completely irrelevant because both me and Charisse, me and any other drummer, any other person, we're all on our own pathway, and there's no one else that's like me, thank goodness. You don't need more than one of me in this life. And there's no one that's like you. No one has had exactly the same experiences as you. No one has had the same sort of pathway to get to exactly where you are. And you might not like what that path has been, but you certainly don't know what the path may hold in the future. And if you start making positive moves towards it, it's going to be a good thing. Equally, I used to compare myself to other drummers so much that were a similar age, and I'd look at them, and in fact I had this really funny situation. So when I want to say 17, maybe 18, no, maybe 17 or 16, I was playing with this artist called Twee, and she was an independent artist. We were doing rehearsals and stuff. Fun fact, the guitarist in that band was Michael Kiwanuka. For anyone that doesn't know who he is, go check him out. He's amazing guitarist. Happens to be an amazing singer. Didn't sing then, and when I saw him later on, I said, I thought you said you couldn't sing. And he was like, I couldn't, but no one would sing my song, so I had to learn. I thought, oh, so brilliant. He's such a sweetheart. So I was doing these rehearsals, and then I can't remember whose friend it was. Maybe it was Mike's friend. This boy called Antony came down, who was a drummer. And we met, and he was so sweet. He was maybe, how old is he? I think he's 2 years younger than me, maybe a year younger than me. And he came down and he watched the rehearsal and he loved it. And he was like, oh, I love your playing, it's amazing, it's so cool. And I was like, oh, that's really sweet. I was like, do you want to have a play? And he was like, yeah. He played. Oh my Lord. He was doing all this, like, he was amazing. He was like this gospel drummer, like, just had all the licks, the chops. It was like, I was like, you're amazing, like, I think you're so incredible. But then equally he was going to me, but you're so incredible, your backbeat is so amazing, and that right foot, the kick is just and I was like, I don't understand. So it was really, really interesting. Oh, by the way, that drummer was Sweet Sticks, so Antony Sweet Sticks Lewis. I know that he doesn't go by Sweet Sticks anymore, but that's how I'll always know him for the rest of my life. So yeah, it was just this really interesting, eye-opening experience where I was so in awe of him, but he was so in awe of me, and I was like, me? I'm not very good. What are you talking about? So it was really interesting. We weren't necessarily comparing each other, but even to this day, we both still recount that story whenever we see each other. It's like, I'll never forget the first day we met. And, you know, it does happen. You do compare yourself. I did maybe go away from there thinking I should really work on my sort of chops and stuff, because that was incredible and he's incredible. But equally, it's like, okay, that's true. He is incredible. He's not you, and you're not him. And you just need to get on with what you want to be doing. Where do you want to be going? Who do you want to be playing with? What is your ultimate goal? Obviously, at that age, I didn't quite work it out to that depth. It's only probably in the last 5 years that I've actually sort of worked that sort of thing out, and it's certainly helped me. But what is also interesting is it's made me not compare myself to other people as much, because although there may be drummers that I do look up to, and there are plenty, I'd rather be the best version of me that I could be than a poor imitation of someone else. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense to me. And from, like I say, from about 5 years ago, I don't actually know what the catalyst was for me thinking like this. I was like, do you know what? In fact, I probably do. In fact, I don't think it was 5 years ago. I think it was less than that. I think I must have been surfing through some social media, maybe Instagram or something like that. And I started realizing that it didn't make me feel good to look at certain people's posts. And it wasn't down to the person. Everyone's doing their thing, absolutely. But it was the mere act of looking at something on Instagram, say, and then instantly going, well, I'm not doing that. I must not be very good. It just... And you know, that ain't just one picture. We all know that if you get onto Instagram, you ain't just looking at one picture and going, no, I'm just going to close this app. No. It's a constant this, isn't it? It's just like scrolling down and down. Hundreds of pictures probably. So even if it is like this tiny moment of, oh, I'm not doing that, why would you want that in your life? Why not just go, actually, I'm not going to look at this. I'm going to just go and spend time doing what I want to be doing to aim towards where I want to be going. And yeah, as I say, like Instagram and things of that nature, mine included, although I do these videos in such a way that it is bare bones, ain't no makeup, I'm not trying to be glam, nothing like that, because I'm not that, by the way, ever. You know, I'm trying to bring a bit of realness to the situation, as opposed to just, oh, look how perfect this picture is. And you know, I've got some nice pictures, but trust me, there's a lot of pictures that you don't see with me just like that or whatever. Anyway, what was I going with it? Yeah, right, Instagram. Someone once said this, and I believe it, and I think it's brilliant. Instagram is someone's highlight reel of their life. It's not their everyday life. It's what they choose to show to you. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But I think some people assume that that's their life 24/7. Everything's so perfect and amazing. And it's not. It's hard. It's hard work. You know, you for one picture that you might see on my Instagram, you don't see the 600 shots that I went through to get one decent picture that I then edited, and then also the fact that I did a whole gig where I had to put a camera up to do this time-lapse thing, which band members give me grief for, because they're like, oh, she's got the camera up again. You know, it's silly, but it's true. You don't see all this background thing. You just see a nice picture and go, I wish I was doing that. And it's like, there's so much more to it than that. So I'm going to let you in on a bit of a secret, which I probably shouldn't let you know, but here we go. It's going to happen. I very rarely look at social media. I know I post on it, right? I post on it, and I will always endeavour to reply to comments, because they mean everything to me, and for anyone to take their time out to write a comment is a big deal to me, and I appreciate that, and I will always appreciate that. But I do not spend hours scrolling and looking at people's feeds, because, well, I may occasionally, just out of habit, open it up, scroll a bit, but the second that I feel some sort of negative response, I'm like, nope, need to close this right now. And I think it's saved a lot of heartache and pain and procrastination and feeling not good enough. I think it saved me from a lot of that. And as I say, I do occasionally sort of scroll through, but it's such a funny thing, just instantly comparing yourself to someone. And it's not the other person's fault. Absolutely not. Everyone's doing their thing. Everyone's trying to do their best. They just want to put out what they want to put out there, and it's amazing, and people are creating amazing things, and there are some really inspiring things. But at the same time, if they make you feel bad, don't torture yourself. Life's too short to do that. Just take that energy, put it in something you want to be doing. Be you, and just run with it, because you've all you've got. So let's just do that instead. Anyway, right, I'm gonna stop. Don't tell anyone about my secret. Shh. But yeah, I hope you're having a good day. Thank you for watching this video. If you think that this would help anyone else, please feel free to share it with your friends, with your musician mates, or whoever else. I've got a fella on this that is from NASA. Can you believe that? That's crazy. But yes, I hope you're having a lovely day, and I will be back next week with another topic. If you have any topics you'd like me to discuss / ramble about, or questions you'd like me to answer, or if you'd like me to talk about any particular experiences, please let me know either in the comments or by dropping me an email at info@adrummersguide2.com, and I look forward to seeing you guys again. Alright, I'll speak to you soon. Bye guys.